Guys, we got the 2013 Dodge Durango all-wheel drive 3.6, and I was trying to remove the wheel bearing, and they're really fucking tight on there. I thought it was gonna be like a regular car wheel bearing. I mean, technically they're all the same, but this one was really fucking on there. It wouldn't come out for shit. And be very careful if you want to do this job yourself, because the way these fucking control arm ball joints and the tie rod and the lower ball joint, they all have this little insert for a special tool, and if you don't use an impact wrench to get these out, they have a little plastic piece at the end of the nut to kind of lock it in place. Halfway out, it gets really fucking tight. I broke 3 star keys trying to get the ball joint out, and then I figured, well, I'll just replace the ball joint. It's nothing. I've pressed ball joints before, so let me cut the nut off and, you know, just take it out. Well, I did that. Nobody carries the fucking ball joint. No auto parts carry the ball joint. You have to buy the whole fucking assembly, which is $200 alone, and it doesn't come with the bearings. So I was fucked pretty much. I tried to rethread it, add a different nut on there. It did not work. It didn't go in. You can see the tool is still broken off inside. That's why I had to cut it. So I beat the fuck out of these bearings with the sledgehammer, and I could not fucking get them to come loose. This is the only way I got them loose. I used one of these chisels. I don't know what they're, I think they're, honestly I don't know if they're to break bricks or what, but you put that shit right here, smack it a couple of times, and it fucking worked. It came out. The first time I sat out here for fucking over 4 hours beating on this shit, and I could not fucking get it loose. This, I just fucking got it off in literally 2 minutes. Put it right here, like that, and I just hit it and it all came out. On a scale of 1 to 10 for difficulty for this, if you're not ready to have some shit go bad and your fucking ball joints don't fucking, the nuts don't spin out, it's a can of fucking worms. If you're only replacing the bearing, I guess go for it. But if you're replacing the axle and have to remove all this, there will be a possibility, if you do it with regular tools, that either the ball joint or the control arm might not come out. The nut might not come out all the way. One more very important thing. These 2 nuts, the control arm nut and the ball joint nut, are the same size, but the thread is different. I mixed them up and I tried to put this one over here, and it fucking seized up on me halfway up. Luckily I was able to get it out and switch them. But don't mix up any of the nuts, any of the bolts for the bearings, any of the bolts for the bracket for the caliper. Don't mix any of this shit up. This is like a $800 repair. I mean, I would have fucking passed on this, but we're already in the shit, so we gotta fucking follow through. But on a rating of 1 to 10 with minimal tools, this is like a 12. It could turn into a can of worms, so do this repair at your own risk. Alright guys, and then the nut for the axle is a 34 millimeter. The nuts for the caliper bracket are 21. The nuts for the upper control arm and the tie rod are 21, and the bolts on the wheel bearing are 15. And I jacked it from the center, and I put 2 jack stands on each side. Please be very careful and proceed with caution. Alright guys, I thought this shit was gonna be easy. I'm like 10 plus hours in it. Not good. Alright guys, update on the lower ball joint for the 2013 Dodge Durango 3.6 all-wheel drive, compatible with Jeep Grand Cherokee, same year. So the update is nobody, as far as the auto parts stores, sell the ball joint by itself. I went to Midas, Firestone, a couple other shops. Nobody can get the actual ball joint by itself. They did not know that you can't press the ball joint out. I had to go to a special shop where they actually deal with pressing shit, and they looked it up, and I found out through them that this is all one piece, and they only sell it as one piece, and for a nice price of $750, $500 maybe if you get an off-brand. So we obviously can't afford $750. So this went from a fucking can of worms to an even bigger can of worms. So what are we gonna do? I managed to get the wheel bearing on. Now I have to get the ball joint on somehow. So what am I gonna do? Well, I spent the whole hour cleaning up the thread with a handsaw. I don't have a special tool to rethread this. I don't have money to go around one at the moment, so I rethreaded it with a handsaw slowly, bit by bit, until I went all the way around. I went to the Advanced Auto Parts, and what I did was I just matched up a ball joint that has the same size nut and the same size ball, thread on the ball joint here, and that was a Ford F-150. I'm pretty sure other ones are similar, but a Ford F-150 has the same exact thread and the same size nut. I tried it on, it threads perfectly. So we are just gonna reinstall this. We pretty much had to save the ball joint. As you can see, I fucking grinded it all the way around to get the nut off before doing my research and finding out how much the actual fucking part was. So if you're gonna do this, please do your research on all your parts and all your possible parts that might break in the way, because this was not expected. We were only taking off the wheel bearing and the axle, and it turned into a fucking bigger thing. So I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more. I ended up getting the broken piece out. 3 star keys broke. I got the 3rd one out. I have a 4th one ready, and we're gonna try it again. Wish me luck. And if you're doing this with minimal tools, pass and save up some money instead. It's gonna be like $1,500 repair, because you might as well replace everything if you're going in here for something. Replace your ball joints, wheel bearings, axle, tie rod, upper control arm. Just get it over with, because you know how it goes. You fix one thing, then the next thing breaks, and it's a fucking big ordeal. But so that's what we're gonna do. That's our hack. That's our unconventional way and method that we're gonna get around this. Luckily, we have plenty of thread. The lower control arm goes on right here, so I have plenty of thread to play with. But that's how we're gonna save this. I'll keep you guys updated once everything is installed.